They did a Zoom on kind of an online sharing of their practice thing, which I went to about 2/3 of and then had to leave. Which was nice, but again, Zoom is so hard. And then we had this with the I don't know if I've complained enough about Zoom yet. We had this with the with that program that Becca was talking about, where we're linked with Low Profile. They did it. I mean, it was a nice way, I guess, of kind of getting a lot of people in. But it was like everybody gets a minute to talk about their practice, and you had like 20 people in a row, and it's like super. Yeah, it's like I guess a super good way of getting through a lot of people. But I mean, a minute is so short anyway, and then 20 people in a row, you're like, oh yeah, okay, so I don't even know where I am anymore.
No, you just lost the plot. Yeah, and if you're thinking about what you're going to say, like,
exactly,
you're not listening to anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not ideal. The picture style thing
has
worked well in other organisations I've seen, but I haven't seen Zoom.
Yeah, I think as well with that kind of stuff, if you, what is a pet coach, just like 6 minutes or something, isn't it? But then if you're in the room with someone afterwards, you can just be like, oh, I really enjoyed this thing, can you like expand on it? But in Zoom it's a bit like, cool, see ya.
And cohort 1, like, do you still kind of keep in touch with some of those people?
Yeah, I mean, actually Fern is in the current show that's on in Arcade Camphor, which is the space I run. So yeah, it's a group show around land, essentially. So she's one of the artists in that. But I think it definitely like deepens our kind of relationships with the people in that cohort, because we knew Kelly in passing, for example, but now we're much more likely to sort of like hang out and chat or know what she's up to or whatever. We're just talking about the relationships. Okay. And Fern as well. I mean, it was a real shame for us because we wanted to get to know Fern a lot better, but even without having the studio contact time, like I think there's much more of an understanding between our like practices and like what we're up to and stuff. So
they just didn't feel like there was a lot of chance to
actually but it's still been good. I can't remember. Oh, Ian was cohort 1, who we already knew as well, and actually has been in shows in Arcade a few times as well.
Jenny is someone that I think, I mean, she's everywhere and she goes to everything, she's super supportive, but I think that particularly the exercise with Kian,
that was great,
that we did with Kian, that sort of transformed, I think, the way, like, my relationship with Jenny. And I think we probably talked to you about the workshop with Kian Donnelly.
Public speaking workshop.
I think it was really, really great. But so Kelly was part of that as well, wasn't she? Mm-hmm. Kelly and Jenny and
us
and Will.
And Will,
So it was part of the programme.
It was one of the exercises, and it was
amazing.
It was really good. Yeah. Just
I feel like I need it every day though.
Yeah.
As soon as you wake up.
What was particularly good about it? Was it the?
He just had like loads and loads of control over what was happening, and it was like it's sort of you sort of self-select if you don't like public speaking, and then you need to feel safe in order to like to practice or to exercise. And he just was really competent, like really skillful at making the space work and getting us to try things and getting us to work on ourselves and those skills. And in a really, like, he was just really great. He's actually never done it with artists before. He usually does it with like business. So I think it was quite a different experience for him, and some of the things he was talking about were he'd normally have to like do a lot of preamble to like introduce an idea, and he's like, and then you realise he's talking about, it's like, you know this stuff, but so it was I think it was a bit of a different experience for him as well, but he's just really skillful, and it felt like something that, well, I think I emailed G39 afterwards saying that like they should do it all the time. Because like it's something that we really lack, that we know that we lack. And it did actually make us think about audience in a different way, because we always think about audience or about a community and the way that we work and facilitating that. But when we're like communicating our practice to an audience, then we never really thought about them as being part of it, like audience in the same way as a workshop, and like sort of doing justice to the work, but also like making a nice experience for the audience, like it was something that really came across and,
Yeah.
it was, and changed, didn't it? So it was
Yeah.
really good. That was highly recommended.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, that's great. That was really good. Because that
Yeah.
was one of your key things that you wanted to get out of the fellowship, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like some support around public speaking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and and I think that Kian also sort of said he'd be available more to do other stuff, and we haven't done it yet, but it has been talked about. It has been talked about that we would continue with that group. So like Jenny and Will and Kelly and us and Sam do more stuff to sort of exercise that muscle of public
Yeah.
speaking. Because we all went to it knowing that we had some shortcomings in it, and it was really good. Yeah,
That's really good. It's exactly that kind of thing that might be useful for the sort of central programme to draw upon and say, actually, that person was really great.
Yeah.
This happened for everyone. Yeah.
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 Maybe it was sort of thinking about how to make that central programme a bit more, kind of like attractive and used, I suppose. And I do wonder whether also like signing up for stuff might help incentivise people. So you actually know you're going to be in a workshop with other people who are part of the programme, and you're going to be asked to interact rather than webinar style.
Yeah.
Thing. I don't know, but yeah, are there any other workshops that you feel that would be quite helpful to have from that? You know, the central programme, Megan organising.
No, not really. The one thing I would say, I think, is you might have even already said this, and I'm sure some other people will have, because Rayanne mentioned it as well. Is that the emails? There's just so much information in them. It's really hard to pick.
They're a bit long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that they're long because they're full of information, so it's really hard to for them not to be long, I guess. But if you're like time poor, we just find it really hard to recognise the bits that are pertinent to you, and you end up sort of scrolling, going like, oh my god, and there's just so much information in them, and I know that's because they need
to communicate.
But it is a problem, and it does mean I think that we probably haven't participated in stuff we otherwise would have done, because we just
if it's not kind of at the top of the email, it's like a sort of a thing, then
and then a reminder, I guess, is good. Which I think there have been some.
They have
And have you met Megan?
we had a really nice chat the other day. She came down. Was she doing some scoping, I think, for the conference maybe, or maybe she was just around?
So you've done one meeting so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but then but then spent quite a bit of time with her at the opening in London. Yeah. And was it really helpful having like a programme manager there in place now, or is it not making much of a difference to your experience so far? Or I would say it hasn't made much of a difference.
I suppose they've now sent, obviously, that they've sent information about Katrina now, which is really sad. I don't know the ins and outs, but is that like does that feel a bit problematic for you, or does it feel okay? Or you, like, I don't know how sort of close you were. Katrina was brilliant, and we really liked chatting to her. But it's just sad. That she's like not well. I don't think that in terms of our experience, and
I think because she wasn't writing our text for the book,
that's
so
true.
it's made quite a big that hasn't impacted on us. Whereas I think for other people it has, because they need to find other people to sort of do that. Because we'd already sort of
identified
that,
And you were saying that the experience with doing the publication is good at the moment, like you're happy with what you've been able to do.
So again, with all of the sort of information that comes through, another thing I think it does is it creates a little bit of anxiety for me that I'm not doing stuff that I should have been. That should be. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, another email's come through, and I don't really know what it's doing. But I mean, it's very light, very light worry in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, And is there anything, because obviously it will impact on the end of your programme and the exhibition at the end and things like that. So one of the things Megan wanted me to ask is, is there if there's like one thing that would really help, make your the final phase of the experience of the programme kind of good for you? Is there anything that you feel would support you that Katrina's absence might,
So was Katrina actually? She was curating the show. As
Yeah.
well?